Was craving a BLT sandwich on some good bread. Couldn't find any good bread at the store, so I decided to make it. Just a few simple ingredients, and I dump them all in the bowl. Here's the ingredient list. So the process is pretty simple. I just dump all of the dry ingredients in my mixing bowl, and then on a low speed, I will begin to add my oil and water. The water is very, very hot, but not boiling. And then as I mix my dry ingredients together, I'll just slowly add in the water. And then once we get this going, and as the mixture starts to form a dough ball, I want to continue to add that flour into it. And once I get it looking like this, I'll begin to start to check its elasticity to make sure it's done kneading, and it's not right here. It should be able to stretch a little before actually breaking. I check it again and we're almost here, so I cut the mixer back on and I go a few more rounds, and this is what you want to look for. So if you stretch your dough and it can stretch to the point where it's almost transparent without breaking, it's done kneading. You don't have to knead it anymore after that. That's ready. I did put it in the bowl with some oil and allow it to double in size. This took about an hour. And after an hour, I punched the dough down and I put it out onto my board. Now, what I want to do here is get as much air bubbles out of this dough as possible. So you'll see me slamming it. I'm just getting it flat and I want to get all the air out of it. This helps with the texture of the bread. Once I get it flattened out, I'm going to take the corners of the dough and just begin to fold them into the center, and this will form my ball. And then once I get all of the edges folded into the center, I'm going to begin to knead it into a tighter ball. Just again, I'm squeezing out the air that's in this dough that helps with the texture of the final product. And once I get it all kneaded, because I use rapid rise yeast, I don't really have to let this rise a second time. This is ready to go. So I got it in my cast iron skillet. I'm just going to score it. That's optional. It just helps releases the steam as it bakes. And then I'm going to put a little oil on it before it goes in the oven. Now, while my oven was preheating at 400 degrees, I had covered it with some plastic, and as you can see, it rose again. So in the oven it went for about 25 to 30 minutes, I would say, at 400 degrees. And when it came out, it was all ready to go. I rubbed some butter over it, and I'm going to show you the texture of the inside here after I let it sit on the counter for about 10 minutes. Then I sliced it. No, I think it was more like 15 minutes. I let it sit before I sliced it. And you can see that the texture is great. Almost perfect, not quite perfect, but it's close enough. It made the sandwich that I was looking for. So easy. All you need is a little bit of time, and anybody can make bread. And if you have a stand mixer, use it. But if you don't have a stand mixer, this can be made without a mixer, with just a bowl and a spoon in your hands. But it made the perfect BLT sandwich. I hope you give this recipe a try.